Hi friends, I hope you are all good. I have done something completely rogue. I just had to share this. So, a little backstory. One of my clients has been training for Hyrox for, I want to say, almost a year. So Hyrox is coming up towards the end of the month, and a long story short, a few days ago, her partner dropped out, and she just said, "Look, I know it's short notice, but would love if you could do it with me." So at the time, I was like, "Yeah, sure, like we've got loads of time." And then I realized I had 13 days. So considering I've not done any kind of high rocks style training since about August, because I was a bit on and off if I was going to do it or not. Saw tickets, tried to get tickets, couldn't get tickets. Anyway, ended up like saying, okay, I'm not gonna end up doing it this year. I'll try and do it next year. Now here we are. So yeah, we have 9 days to go. Usually people start tapering by now, but to be honest with you, is what it is. I'm just gonna go for it. I'll keep you all posted with how everything goes. I'm probably not going to do too much training wise, considering there is now just about 9 days to go. My supplements, I'm just probably going to keep the same. I might increase my creatine just a little bit, but to be honest, I think at this stage it's just, I just have to go for it. So over the next few days, I will be documenting what I'm doing, but I am probably just going to stay more cardio mobility focused. At this point, I don't think I'll be able to do anything too high volume anyway, considering it's now Thursday and Hyrox is next Sunday. So very short window. But disclaimer, I absolutely do not recommend that you do this with such short notice. You should always give yourself at least 3 months to train for something like Hyrox. This is my first one. I'm excited, nervous, kind of every emotion. But yeah, step one is just to survive. I'm not aiming for a specific time or anything, of course, because I haven't trained as much as I'd like to for it given the circumstances. So yeah, I will keep you all posted and hopefully I survive. I mean, the aim of this is just to cross that finish line with having completed everything uninjured, and then at least set sights to doing a proper one in 2024 with like the proper training and everything. Hey guys, it is just after midnight. I just got back from the event with VQ, so Vanquish Fitness. They had a pop-up today in central London. I'll like add some clips and stuff. It was great. I promise I didn't go too heavy. My voice is going. Been a really long day, but it was great to meet and connect with like some other people. Um, yeah, I think that's probably officially my last lifting session. And again, I was not pushing it at all, but considering High Rocks, technically it's after midnight, so considering we are 7 days out, um, or 6 days out, yeah, I think anything I'm doing now is strictly just movement and maybe go for some runs. Again, nothing too crazy. I'm probably gonna stop training on Thursday just so I can be fresh for Sunday. We find out the time that we start on Wednesday. So once I know that, then I'll know exactly how easy I need to take it. Overall, absolutely great event, VQ. Thank you so much. It was my first time at the Bethnal Green Muscle Works. Recommend it if you've not been before. Top tier. But yes, I am knackered. I think we was on the road from 10 a.m. this morning. So yeah, definitely gonna get some rest. Just gonna take it easy tomorrow. Probably just do a little bit of movement. some stuff with my Theragun, some foam rolling, all that painful jazz. Yeah, off to bed now. Another day, another recovery session. We're gonna be sitting at 80 degrees for 15 minutes. Yes, team, today is Tuesday, the 21st of November, meaning we are 5 days out. Received our official start time yesterday, so we are off at 9:10, which, to be honest with you, is absolutely fantastic. I didn't want to be in like the 7 a.m. kind of rush. It kind of gives me time to have a decent breakfast and make my way over. It's not too far from home, which is great. They've released the race course as well, so we kind of know the order. I know it will be different on the day. Once the adrenaline kicks in, I might be a little bit forgetful, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Planning to go to the early registration either today or tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Just so we don't have to get there an hour early. We can kind of ease ourselves in and have a nice warm up, and then yeah, 10 minutes before I think we have to be at the start line, so get there nice and early. Red Bull, energy gel, nice warm up, and then it is what it is at that point. I'll keep you posted with registration and everything. Today the plan is probably just to do some cardio and a little bit of mobility, but I'll let you guys know. Good morning, friends. So today is Friday, which means I'm officially 2 days out from Hyrox. I've really been ramping up on my collagen and creatine. Can't say I'll be taking anything else. Not done any training, so yeah, I'll probably keep it that way, to be honest. I think more excited now than nervous. I've just kind of come to the realization that there's nothing more that can be done. So, yeah. Good morning, friends. Today is the day. I am walking to the train station. It's like 7:30. So I'm aiming to be there for 10 past 8 the latest. Sorry, my eyes are watering, it's so cold. Thank God it's not an outdoor event. But yeah, this is it. Nothing more that can be done now, so it is what it is. I think nerves have definitely gone. I think it is just now all excitement. I think the realization that there's literally nothing that can be done. I've woken up with a little bit of a sore throat and a blocked nose, but we're not going to allow that to stop us. So yeah, I think I will try and give an update once I get to Excel, but I know you have to leave your phones and everything in your bag, so I'll try and capture what I can. If not, the next video, the next part of this video you will see is me who hopefully completed Hyrox injury-free. We'll finish this patch, but I will keep you all posted. So yeah, I mean, I'm not aiming for a time, as I said. Yeah, I just want to complete it, to be honest. I know a few people that done it yesterday, and they said it's tough, so great.
We are very close to seeing our first finisher of the day. Claire and Gabs, lower hour. Woo! So
Not bad. Hi friends, so today it is Tuesday the 28th, so 2 days post Hyrox. Wow, I don't even know where to start. First of all, happy to report that I completed it uninjured, which was literally the #1 goal of this, just to get through it, not fuss about the time, complete every exercise, every run, and to be able to walk to the train station after. And 2 days later, other than some really heavy quad, we're good. So yeah, my experience, I mean, it, to be honest, was a lot easier than I had expected. I think because I hadn't trained as much as I would have liked to before, I was very overly cautious, but I think I did kind of expect to, I don't know, strain myself or being that person that got really severe cramp and ended up like on the floor. But no, it wasn't that. I think the runs as well weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. What I really liked was the layout. So your runs was done on the outside and you kind of came into the middle, and it was like station 1, which was the ski, and then station 2, 3, 4. So it was kind of like a ladder, which was great because after running and trying to, track how quick was that run and what we got next, should I have some water, should I get some Red Bull, it was great to just make your way up essentially. And they had this screen that kind of told you if you need to do one more lap, or workout 4, workout 5, which was even better because, I mean, I did Hyrox with somebody, but I think if I had to do it alone and not have my partner there to say, oh, we're skiing next, or we've got the lunges next, and not have that board, it would have been a lot more difficult. The temperature in there was really good. I thought it would have been quite stuffy. XL being an exhibition centre, but no, it's really well ventilated. I think if anyone's ever doing a Hyrox at XL again, definitely take some time to warm up. In the warm-up zone, maybe try to get there into the warm-up zone at least 15 minutes before you need to get to the start line, because it is so cold in there. It takes a minute to warm up, so where I didn't have time to warm up properly beforehand because the backdrop queue was really long, I kind of used the first 1K as a warm up and then went into the ski. So after that, I was like, okay, now I'm ready. I think one thing that I will do next time, if I'm gonna do another Hyrox, is for one, warm up before. And I think I will track my runs. I didn't this time. I just kind of set my Apple Watch to, I think, functional training, something like that, and just had it as one workout. I've seen that you can get your splits and everything. The good thing is Hyrox give you all of that at the end anyway, so you can kind of gauge it a little bit more. They did have multiple clocks on the race area as well, which was handy because, not that I was aiming for a time, obviously going in with a lot less training than necessary. It was good to set, okay, so this has taken us about 40 minutes and we're roughly halfway through, so it should take us X amount of time altogether. Yeah, I don't actually have anything bad to say or any disadvantages. I think it was great to have Red Bull and the water stations. Maybe if we had one more of those, but everything else was fantastic. They did have enough volunteers in every area. I liked how they had the spectator layout, so at every single station there was people there to cheer you on. I liked how they had the entry system for the queuing, so it was not traffic lighted, but it's like there was a stop start where they would kind of have people coming through this entrance, then wait, let like a block of us run, and then let them come through to the next. So it didn't actually interrupt us whilst we were running, which was the main thing, because especially if you've trained hard for this and you're aiming for a specific time, I think the little things like having to wait 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 1 minute for a crowd of people to come in would have just been inconvenient. And I'm glad that we didn't get any penalties either. I think that's one thing I was stressed about. I watched the briefing so many times because I was just certain that I was gonna get a penalty somehow. I didn't think it would be with the exercises necessarily. Although when it came to the sled pull, the lane was quite narrow, so I was a bit on the edge of almost getting a penalty there, I would say, because I believe if you cross the line with the sled, I don't know if it's like a 10-meter penalty or a time penalty, I have to double check, but there was penalties there. If your wall balls, like so your bum had to pass your knees, for it to count as a rep, they had one of the volunteers there with like a counter clicker thingy who was counting, but they did have boxes as well for people to like sit on or to touch, essentially as a reference point for each rep. And yeah, with the sandbag lunges, had to make sure your knee touched the ground. I think one thing with the burpees, I think you get a penalty if your hands pass your feet, or maybe it's the other way around. So I was kind of going super slowly just to make sure when I'm coming up, I'm not like jumping through my hands, if that makes sense. But other than that, no. I will post all the metrics and data here. And yeah, it was a really nice environment. Completed it injury-free. It was euphoric. Everyone was just like, yes, well done. There was one of the spectators had a sign with the like Mario mushroom that just said, touch me for a power up. And I think every time we ran, majority of us was just hitting that mushroom, and it helped, believe it or not. But yeah, I have a few questions that people have sent me on Instagram, so I'm just gonna answer those. So somebody asked, would you do Hyrox again? Absolutely. I'm considering Olympia. I believe that's gonna be, I think that's the next London one. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's happening in the first week of May. So it's plenty of time. Kind of gives me Christmas and New Year to just get back into training, and then I think hit the ground running from February onwards. So we'll keep you posted if I end up booking that. Somebody said, what was the worst exercise? That's quite difficult. I think sandbag lunges. I didn't realize how heavy my legs were feeling at that point until I had the 10-kilo sandbag on my back and I had to lunge for X distance. I think after I'd done the first 6, I was like, wow, my quads are on fire. It got to and you couldn't put the sandbag down. That was the worst thing. So I just remember looking at the spectator like, and he's like, you got 2 more. And I was just like, yep, give me a minute, I'm working on it. I just remember laughing so many times. Some of the pictures, you just see me on the floor literally laughing, just really deep in my life. Like, am I actually doing this? I've really paid money, left the house at like 6:30 and came here -1 degrees to do this on a Sunday morning. It got to the point where it's like, if I don't laugh, I'm probably going to cry. So let me just laugh through it. Another question was, what was the easiest exercise? To be honest, farmer's carries. I think my training weight is a lot heavier than that. I tend to use maybe 24s for farmer's carries, so it was a relief to just have 2 16 kg kettlebells. The row was probably the easiest. I think I kind of underestimated how easy that would be. For some reason, I just powered through the row. I just remember looking at the time and my partner was like, "You're done." And I was looking at the screen, I was like, yeah, I am. The sled push as well was, because it's quite light for what I'm used to as well, I think that was easy. And the carpet was amazing. It just was gliding along and I said, that's fantastic. And then the wall balls, to be honest, once I got into the swing, just like a bounce towards the end, especially once we had passed like the halfway mark, those were fine. Yeah, I think that's it. And again, to add to maybe like the hardest exercise, I think the sled pull, because I don't think I've ever done like a rope sled pull. I actually had blisters on my hands, and I think we got to like the 4th or 5th station, and I had a sweat towel, and I noticed there was blood on it, and the first thing I did was check my nose, because I don't know if it was the AC, but my nose kept running, so I was like, oh my God, like, am I having a nosebleed? But then I checked, and yeah, I guess the blisters that I had created just very quickly tore my hands, so those are actually doing surprisingly well. I'm not in any pain in my hands, but no, that was quite a difficult exercise, and I didn't really have the technique mastered. As I said, it's not something I've done before or practiced, so if there's going to be a round 2, that's something I'll definitely focus on. So somebody asked me, was it scary? No, I think definitely last week there was a lot of nervous, excited energy, and then it got to the Saturday night, so a few hours before, and the nerves had gone and it was all excitement. And then the day of, and I slept surprisingly well. I didn't think I'd be able to sleep as well as I did. I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm excited, but the nerves came back. And then it was when I was on the train to Hyrox, and there was a few other people that I could hear talking about it, and this one lady was like, I'm gonna throw up, like this is gonna be the worst thing ever. My friend done one a few months ago and she tore her hamstring, and I was just like, yep. And I'm sure she was training through it, and then me, who's not trained as much as I could have for this, going in just not prepared, I kind of thought I was going to be in the same situation. So I think the nerves definitely hit as I got closer to Excel. And then when I got to Excel, met my partner, we kind of had that look after we hugged each other and was like, yeah, today's the day. We don't know what to expect, but today's the day. I didn't eat breakfast. I had planned to, but the thing with me, when I'm nervous or I feel a little bit on edge, a bit anxious, I can't eat. Not to say I'm gonna throw up, because that's never happened, but my stomach is just like, no, we don't need anything, we're fine. So I probably should have eaten, but I think the only thing I had pre-Hyrox was an energy gel and some Lucozade Sport. I didn't even have water, and I had such a small sip of the Lucozade Sport because we had gone to the bathroom already like 3 times. I was like, we need to pee, and we didn't, but it was just nerves. And I think because we only made it to the start line, I think 2.5 minutes before, and they advised getting there 10 minutes before. But I realized they only say that because they play the briefing video. So if you've watched the briefing video, which they send, I believe, in the athlete's guide or in your email confirmation closer to the time, not to say you shouldn't get to the start line for that time, because I know every venue probably has a different setup, but I'm assuming anyway that's why. So when we got there and it was like the rush, and it's like, okay, we saw the countdown on the screens and it was like, fine. That was when we was able to do a few quick stretches, a bit of mobility, set up the heart rate monitors, switch on the Apple Watch, kind of get ourselves ready. And it was the last look And we just said, oh, we got this, we're here, we're gonna do it, whatever happens, happens. And then it's the music, the countdown's over, burst at the gates, you've got the spectators and everyone as you come running out. And yeah, I think that was probably why the first 1K felt quite light, because I just remember doing it and I was like, oh, it's not that bad. I did definitely get a lot harder. I mean, I didn't want to push on any of the runs at all because I said I'm not conditioned enough for this. I've not trained enough for this. So I would rather use the runs as active recovery, even if it means literally walking 1K, and then not to go all out, but put the effort into the 8 workouts. And that's exactly what happened. Did end up walking most of the 1Ks because, especially when it came to like the lunges and like the rowing and stuff, I just kind of wanted to save my legs. And I'm glad I did that, because if I didn't, I don't even want to know what would have happened. But your girl survived, and yeah, I'm happy that I've done it and I've ticked that box and I've had the experience. And the good thing is it doesn't change. So now I know, should I do another one, I know what to expect. And yeah, that's pretty much my Hyrox experience. This is definitely not a how to get ready for Hyrox in less than 2 weeks. Never ever jump into something like that and not train. So yeah, lessons learned is for sure to give myself more time. I know I physically couldn't have given myself more time this time around because it was just very last minute. I was just kind of stepping in to support a friend. And that's really it. Should I do another one? I am going to start the training no later than 12 weeks out. I think now, after doing that, I'm probably going to change my kind of training style anyway, just so that I have got the kind of hybrid format of being able to master running 8K as well as doing all the capacity work like the ski, the rowing, and then the strength stuff like the sled and the pool, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not gonna go into the full hybrid athlete, hybrid trainer kind of technique, because as much as I'm coming from a sprinting background, I still want to tap in more to the powerlifting side of things. I really do want to kind of push my limits when it comes to strength training. So I don't want to delve too much into like the running and say I'm gonna be doing a half marathon in 6 months, because it's not in the plans for now. That could change. But for now, no. And yeah, I'll keep you guys posted should I choose to do a next one. So right now it's just rest and recover. I will add what I'm using now. I'm still taking my supplements as normal. Probably a little bit more on the collagen now, post Hyrox, and a little bit less creatine for now. For the rest of the year, my training is probably not going to be as heavy. It's December on Friday, and then when it hits December, I've got 3 weeks and then I'm away. So I think for now, it's just maintenance, the kind of general functional training, a little bit of conditioning, small strength work, small power work, accessory stuff like that. But yeah, this was my Hyrox journey. Be it all very short, I look forward to the next one, should I do another one. My legs still have not forgiven me. Everything else kind of feels okay, but it is day 2. So I'm hoping in the coming days, after I've had a nice sauna, nice steam, I'm gonna try and get a cryotherapy session booked in as well and use my Theragun a lot more. Yeah, I should feel better. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you soon.